What's going on, y'all? It's JD PicKell. Today on the Hard Count, we're going to give you our top 5 most impactful transfers that are not quarterbacks. Welcome into CFB with JD, the People's Channel. Everything you know and that you love about college football happens here on a nearly daily basis. Jack McKenzie, Garrett Ross doing the heavy lifting, help drive the show at my Twitter page at JD PicKell. So obviously, college football transfer portal has been free agency, right? Let's just call it what it is. It has been the Publix grocery store. Need a quarterback? Go get a quarterback. Need a tight end? Go get a tight end. Whatever you need, it's probably in the portal somewhere. And so obviously there's a ton of impact coming from this. Like teams, rosters are going to look vastly different because of the portal. And so we started looking at the impact itself. And the place you start is at the quarterback position. And we could do a whole segment. I think we have done segments actually in the past about quarterback position, the most impactful transfers. I personally feel like it might be Casey Thompson. Another video that we already did for another time. But to get to the meat of this video, we said, okay, what are the top players, the most impactful players? It's a very key word, impactful players that are not quarterbacks. So without further ado, we're going to go 5 to 1 in ascending order of who we believe those players are. Starting at number 5, Ochaun Mathis, defensive end, Nebraska. Transferred from TCU. A lot of people, myself included, thought he was going to transfer to Texas and follow Gary Patterson. That is not the case. What he's going to bring to the table is an enormous boost for this Nebraska pass rush that was, I think, like 86th a year ago in terms of sack percentage. They were bad in the front seven. They're going to be a lot better because of him and because of what he brings to the table. At the very least, he's going to command more double teams. Not every snap, not every game, but at different times, they're going to have to double 32. And when they do that, it frees up other guys on your front seven to go and make plays. So at the very least, he's going to command attention and make this defense better just by being on the field. At number 4, Jamir Gibbs, the running back from Georgia Tech, makes his way to Alabama. So he's going to be with the Crimson Tide. And the biggest point for me with Jahmyr Gibbs moving to Tuscaloosa is the fact that it just makes the Alabama offense that much more dangerous. They didn't have a bad running game a season ago. They had ballers last year. I mean, let's call it what it was. They could do whatever they wanted offensively. But to add an all-American caliber player at running back in Jahmyr Gibbs, who can also catch the ball out of the backfield, that's going to take so much more pressure off of Bryce Young. Because coming into this year, make no mistake about it, there is an enormous bullseye on Bryce Young. He's got the Heisman Trophy in his bedroom. Like, there's a lot of people wanting to see what number 9 does. So to be able to turn and hand it to number 13 in Jahmyr Gibbs, that's a huge luxury, makes this offense even more multi-dimensional. A season ago, they were great passing the ball. They were good running the ball. They're going to be all-American level at both this coming season. Nice little Alabama sandwich here at 4 and 3. At number 3, Elias Ricks, the corner for Alabama, transferred from LSU, is now in Tuscaloosa. Would expect him to be the number 1 corner, would expect him to follow the number 1 receiver week in and week out. A guy who has great range, matches up with a lot of different kind of receivers. So if you got the 6'4 guy, Elias Ricks has got him. You have a guy who's pretty fast, is maybe more of a burner, Elias Ricks has got him. He's fast, he's physical, he's long, and he's going to be able to, like I said, from week to week, take away or at least soften the impact of that number 1 receiver. So I'm excited to see what he does. The biggest takeaway for me with him joining this program is you instantly get better at a position where you were more inexperienced a season ago. We saw in the national championship game, Georgia was able to really just 50-50 them to death. And that's something that we don't typically see out of this program, out of a secondary that Nick Saban takes pride in coaching. Kool-Aid McKinstry will play opposite of him. I think they're going to be really dynamic and have a lot more of a lid over the top with this secondary. So excited to see what he does there. Now, we're going to get some fire in the comment section about who we have at number 2 and at number 1. At number 2, I have Jordan Addison. And this is a list that would probably look similar if it were to be in relation to talent, but maybe he's number 1 in terms of most talented transfers. In terms of impact, Jordan Addison is my second guy, and we'll talk more about number 1, obviously, when we get there, but he's going to add a lot to USC. Ultimately, what USC gets with Jordan Addison is an alpha at their number 1 wide receiver position. You have Mario Williams to do intermediate stuff. You have Brennan Rice to take some pressure off Addison, but to have a true deep threat and a guy that you can throw the ball to at any point in time during the game is a huge luxury for Caleb Williams. Because remember, Caleb Williams was a true freshman last season. I know there's a lot of hype around him. I know there's a lot of accolades in the preseason being thrown his way, but he's still developing and still learning the college game a little bit. This is going to be his first time starting a season opener. So to have a seasoned receiver with all of the skill set in the world that you could want in a number one receiver in Jordan Addison, that is a huge luxury for Caleb Williams. In the same way, takes a lot of pressure off other guys in the offense to just have to command where number 3 is. At number 1, we got Zach Evans, the running back for Ole Miss, transferring from TCU and landing his way in Oxford. This guy was a beast at TCU. Like, he just straight up did what he wanted against Big 12 defenses. Averaged 7 yards a carry for his 2 years he was there. You average 7 yards in one season, that's impressive. To do it over 2 seasons, dude was running the rock. The scouting report on him is he runs angry. He runs angry, he gets downhill quick, fast, and in a hurry. So what that does to defenses, it means you got to be sharp with your reads. And when you're not sharp with your reads, if you're going to be sloppy, you still have to decide one way or another very quickly, more than you want to, ideally. And so for Zach Evans to get downhill and to make a linebacker commit before he's even ready to, that's going to open things up for the rest of the offense. It's no secret, they did a lot in the portal. Jackson Dart, Jalen Robinson, they're going to have some weapons. They're going to have some guys they can throw the ball to, but they're going to be much more wide open because of what Zach Evans is going to command from commitment in the run game from defenses. Even if they don't command a lot from the defense in terms of what they can do in the passing game, you can still just hand the ball to 6. And that's going to be an enormous luxury for Jackson Dart, who is the presumed starter in Oxford. For him to have a guy he can just turn around and hand the ball to on first, second, even third down, that's going to make a world of difference as he continues to mature and as Lane Kiffin breaks in this new offensive coordinator in Weiss. So I'm excited for all 5 of these guys. Again, I believe all 5 of these guys will have a huge impact. But for us, it goes Zach Evans at number 1, most impactful transfer. Number 2, you got Jordan Addison going to USC. Elias Ricks, Jahmyr Gibbs, both at Alabama. Alabama did some damage in the portal. And then Ochaun Mathis going to wreak havoc off the edge for Nebraska. This is the hard count. This is on CFB with JD, so subscribe to the channel. We do a video nearly every single day. We'd love to have you along for the ride. We will keep the party rolling. We will see y'all next time.